You are now tuned into the Cut Game radio show hosted by Groom City.
With the Cut Game radio show, we let them know we stay true
To the Cut Game.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Hey, what's going on? It's Groom City, and you now tuned in to the Cut Game radio show. And in this particular part of the show, we like to refer to it as Groom City's Top 5s. And today, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 ways to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist. But before I share with you my top 5 ways to increase your pricing, let's talk about pricing. Amongst the hair professionals, you know, the barber community, my stylists out there, pricing is a very controversial subject. You know, it's a very touchy subject. You know, you got barbers, hairstylists out there that feel like we should be getting paid top dollar for our services. You know, all that time, money, energy, and effort that we spend perfecting our craft, you know, we should be getting paid for that. We should be getting a return on our investment. And you got barbers and stylists out there, especially the ones that work in economically disenfranchised areas. You know, a lot of times, you know, especially we get close to our customers, you know, we may have been made aware of how they're currently doing with their financing. So sometimes those barbers and those stylists, when it comes to increasing their pricing, they may factor that information and may not even increase their pricing at all, you know, because they may feel like increasing their pricing may directly affect some of their customers' households, you know, might directly affect how they actually feed their family. And I'm letting you know that that's a complete lie. You know, we should be getting paid for our time. You know, we shouldn't even charge for the services. We should charge based on time. And since time is the hottest commodity on this planet, we should be getting paid for our time. However many hours you are spending at the shop, you should have a goal of how much you want to get paid per hour. You should have in your mind a comfortable hourly wage for your time. Now, I know it's different business models out there. You know, you got booth rental, you got commission-based shops, you got maybe a private studio, maybe you're a shop owner, you know, maybe you're just off the grid. You should have a goal on how much you want to get paid for the time that you're spending providing hair services. So I know I brought up commissions, but today we're going to be speaking a little bit on commission. I'm not talking about the commission like commission-based barbershops. When we on the Cut Game radio show, and we have a unique perspective when it comes to information in the hair industry. You know, we got a unique perspective, you know. So right now, y'all gonna tune into the Cut Game radio show. I want you guys to really keep an open mind and really change the way you view things and change the way you do things, you know. And I know we spoke on commission earlier today, and we're going to speak on commission, but I'm not talking about the commission like a commission-based barbershop. When clients either book on an app, call you and book on the phone, whatever platform they're using to reach you, I want you guys to vision that it's like a customer reaching out to an artist. And when the customer reaches the artist, he or she is commissioning the artist for the production or creation of their art. So when a customer or client is reaching out to you, I want you to vision that he or she is hiring and paying you for the production or creation of the art of a haircut, hairstyle, straight razor shave, etc. And I want you to think how long it's going to take you to produce that haircut, that hairstyle, that razor shave, etc. And I want you to develop a price based on how much time it would take to produce or create the hairstyle that she or he is commissioning you to produce. So based on that, I want you guys to develop how much you want to get paid per minute, you know, how much a minute of your time is worth. And based on the popular services that you provide to your customers, I want you to price it based on how much you want to get paid per minute. So if the average haircut across the board, if it's not a difficult or specialty haircut, should take you about 30 minutes. I say the average razor shave should take you close to 30 minutes as well. So if a person is commissioning you to produce the art of a taper or ball fade and a straight razor shave on their face, on average, that's about 60 minutes. So how much is 60 minutes of your time is worth? What is the perceived value for 60 minutes of your time? I feel a comfortable rate across the board is $1 a minute. So if a client or potential customer is commissioning you to produce hair services that take you an average of 60 minutes, I feel it should be at least $60. And I feel in 2017, asking for $60 for an hour of your time I think that's accurate. So if you are not at least getting $1 a minute for your services, I broke down my top 5 ways to increase the prices for your services. Now, the first way to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is location. Now, for my shop owners, if you feel like the pricing in your shop is too low and it's time for you to increase those prices, that has to be justified. That has to be justified. So if you have a lot of factors like your shop is located in an undesirable part of town, it's inconvenient getting to your shop, it has a ran down look, it's just not up to the standards, it's not aesthetically pleasing, then you're going to have to make the necessary changes in your location before you can justify a price increase. So you either got to change your location to a location that's more convenient, change to a location that's in a more desirable area or a desirable part of town where the demographic of the people earn a higher income than the location that you're currently at. You can also justify a price increase if you change to a location that's better looking, more aesthetically pleasing. Maybe has a more efficient floor plan with a size that can handle the amount of traffic that your previous location can't. Or you can stay right where you are and make minor to major improvements to the shop that you already own and operate in, which will justify an increase in your pricing. Now, if you're not a shop owner, you can increase your pricing by utilizing these same principles. You can either relocate to a shop that is located in a better part of town, a more desirable area where the demographic of people in that area have a higher income. You relocate to a shop that has a nice look to it, maybe it's branded well and already charges more than the shop you currently work in. Ultimately, the first thing you want to do if you want to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is positively affect the location that you currently work in. Now, that brings us to the second way to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is improve the quality of your services. The experience must exceed the quality of service and the expectations of what the client commissioned you to produce. That takes us to what I like to refer to as B.D.A, before, during, and after. The client must be happy and satisfied before he or she receives service, during the service, and after he or she receives the service. They must be happy with that finished product. Now, if you perfect your B.D.A, this dramatically helps to increase the perceived value of your services. That's why location is so important. Location directly affects the B in B.D.A. Client may be in traffic or however they made it to the shop, but when they pulled up to the shop is located in a nice, desirable part of town. It's real convenient. Location looks good. They go inside the shop. It's aesthetically pleasing. They were greeted when they came in. When I say they, I'm talking about the shop. If no one in the shop greeted them, maybe you can greet them, because that's a potential customer. If not today, one day, they're going to remember who greeted them. They remember the B in B.D.A. Now that client sits down, already he or she is having, an amazing experience. So whatever they were going through before they enter the building, when they finally go to the work area, the first thing I recommend to maximize the D in B.D.A is recommend a shampoo. While the client is receiving this shampoo service, they already was overwhelmed with the way the shop looks, how convenient it is. It's a nice part of town. They're getting amazing shampoo, they're relaxed. So when you finally make it to your chair, all of these factors add to the customer's experience and you maximize the D in B.D.A. During that service, you exceeding their expectations. So after you finish the service, style the hair, then hand them that mirror, that quality of cut is there, quality of products was used on the hair, you just exceeded the expectations of the after. So B.D.A is very important. B.D.A helps to increase the perceived value of your services, and the customer usually responds with their finances. So, the second way to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is to improve the quality of your services. Now, that brings us to the third way. The third way to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is bossing up. Bossing up. Maybe you have a large following on your social medias. Maybe you've gained an amazing reputation and have a strong demand for your services. Maybe you have a unique skill set that sets you apart from the rest of the barbers or stylists, putting you in a class of your own. You may have gained a considerable amount of what I like to refer to as social equity. Social equity can directly increase your perceived value. And tapping into this social equity and using it as leverage to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is what I call bossing up. Depending on how much equity you've gained, when you boss up and properly leverage your social equity, you can literally increase your pricing by 2, 3, even 10 times what you currently charge. So bossing up is one way for you to convert your social equity into real money. So the third way to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is bossing up. Now, that takes us to the fourth way. The fourth way for you to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is to bundle your services. Since there is no shortage of barbers and stylists out there doing the same thing you're doing, providing the same or similar hair services, that inevitably drives prices down. One way to differentiate yourself is to bundle your services, creating unique packages that no one else offers. This is a great way to increase your pricing and maximize the profitability of your time. For example, when pricing certain haircuts, bundle them with maybe a shampoo, blow dry, different color enhancements. Bundle all those services into a package. By doing this, you are aiding in raising your pricing and increasing retention rates. Bundling your services is also a good way to open the door for selling the retail products that you use on the clients, which increases your daily revenue and once again improving client retention rates. Research shows that a client taking home a retail product is more than twice as likely to return for services. Your clients view you as an expert in the area of hair, scalp, etc. So why not exploit this to increase revenue and satisfy clients? So the fourth way to increase your pricing as barbers or stylists is for you to bundle your services. Now that brings us to the fifth and final way to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist, and that is for you to use the cut game formula. Whenever you find yourself consistently booked 80 to 90% of the time with a client retention rate of 70%, then you can justify a price increase of 10 to 25% on your popular hair services. That's right, that's that cut game formula. Cut game formula, it's effective, it works, So whenever you find yourself consistently being booked 80 to 90% of the time and you retain 70% of your clients, you can increase the prices on your popular services by 10 to 25%. Now, of course, it's going to dramatically affect retention rates. But with that price increase, especially with a 25% increase, this will offset the loss in clients making the same amount of money that you made before with less work. What's dope about the cut game formula is every time you find yourself meeting its requirements, you can apply the cut game formula and increase your pricing. So if you charge $20 a haircut and you find yourself booked 80 to 90% of the time, you pretty much retaining your clients, you can go up 25% based on the cut game formula. So now you can charge $25 for the cut. Now, you may see a drop in your clients, but if you're making the same amount of money, that means that you're actually working 25% less. So you actually not working as hard as you were before the price increase and making the same amount of money. So as you build that up, improve the quality of your services, you may have made changes in your location, whatever it is, eventually you're going to find yourself being booked 80 to 90% of the time and pretty much retaining the same clients. And you can use and apply the cut game formula again. Now, you might can go up to $30 a cut. See that same drop, but then you're going to realize that based on the cut game formula, you're either going to make the same or more money and you're going to work less. So now you can spend more time with your family. You might can spend time with whatever little hobbies you may have or extracurricular activities, but for the most part, this is giving you an opportunity to make more money with less effort. So you're actually working smarter, not harder. So the fifth way to increase your pricing as a barber or stylist is for you to apply the cut game formula. Now let's recap. Does the desired price increase match the perceived value of my services? Is the demand for my services strong enough to support a price increase? What differentiates me from other barbers? What is the socioeconomic status of the area I serve? Do the condition and location of my shop support a price increase? Are my skill sets unique enough to support a price increase? Do I find myself being booked 80 to 90% of the time and retaining 70% of my clients? If the answer to these questions support your desired hourly or daily rate, then factor how much time it will take to produce your art and price your services accordingly. Be confident when giving clients your price. Know that you have a skill set that they see value in. You must also recognize your value and charge accordingly. Never, and I repeat, never apologize or negotiate against yourself when it comes to pricing. Now, once you have all this game, this is a lot to chew on, but once you have all of this mastered, then you got to focus on goals. And I always recommend 1-year goals, 3-year goals, and 5-year goals. But these particular goals that I'm about to share with you, this is pertaining to pricing. So before you start your workday, you must have a daily goal. $39 a day, 5 days a week for 52 weeks, and a year grosses $10,000 a year. Based on this work week, a good goal to have is $195 a day. So 5 days a week for 52 weeks a year. If you're meeting your daily goal at $195, you'll be grossing $50,000 a year. That's a good goal. Now, a better goal is $312 a day. So if you're working 5 days a week for 52 weeks and you're meeting your daily goal of $312, then you'll be grossing $80,000 a year. And I would say the best goal for you to reach, I would say across the board, the best goal to have is $390 a day. 5 days a week for 52 weeks. If you're meeting a daily goal of $390 a day, you'll be grossing $100,000 a year. So that right there concludes our show. For all my listeners out there, I want y'all to execute with boldness. And if you make a mistake, I want you to execute with more boldness. That's how you're going to get stuff done, and that's how you're going to reach those daily goals, and that's how you're going to hit that goal of $100,000 a year. So I want y'all to stay on your jet fuel, stay elevated, stay motivated. Cut Game Radio Show. You can catch Groom City's Top 5s every Tuesday, and you can catch episodes of the Cut Game Radio Show every Wednesday. I want y'all to like, share, comment, and keep tuning in to the Cut Game Radio Show. Peace.
That concludes our show. Please join us next week as we chop up game and share secrets to success on the Cut Game Radio Show.